Hello, I'm Talu. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're brand new. So, this is a channel that's clearly about my evolution and enlightenment. It has to be. At this point, there's no other reason that makes sense to me why I would have such a YouTube channel and why I recorded all of those nut job videos prior to this, and not promising that this video is not going to be a nut job recording as well. I see all these little probably moths, I think. Some little cute bug flying around. It's kind of close. No, it's about an hour or two, maybe two, from sunset here in the Arizona desert. And I just was thinking about this crazy, amazing journey on my trip to enlightenment. There's some things that happened over the last 3 days or so ago that have honestly blown my mind. I don't think we're ever fully enlightened. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Creatures of God. Do we get fully enlightened? Or is it just so many phases of enlightenment, then you eventually stop? I don't know. But this path has been so cool. I can now map this back. I thought this started for me, this journey started for me in 2010, but no, this journey started with me when I was a child. Definitely a child. There's just so much evidence now that I'm like, oh my God, that's why I behave this way. That's why I went after this kind of group to hang out with. I was searching back then for enlightenment. I'm now thinking, what's this video about? What am I supposed to be saying? So some cool new skills activated that has happened to me recently is I am able to go into a quiet breathing status, a phase, a frequency where I'm breathing in a certain way, and it relaxes me, and I'm able to connect with source consciousness, and some cool stuff comes out of it. So let's see if we can make that happen, okay? I'm very new to it, so sometimes it takes me a long time, like 15 minutes to connect into source consciousness, and then sometimes it's like right away, and I'm not sure the reasons why sometimes it takes longer, or vice versa. So I don't know, I may have to trim a little bit of this video out if it takes a long time for me to connect in, but no worries, it's mostly what I would cut out. So when I do this breathing, it depends on your lung capacity. For mine, it's about a 4 count inhale, and I try to do it forcibly. It's not a gentle breathe in. I do try to breathe in through my nose most often, but you can do through your mouth too. But adjust the air temperature so it's easier on your body when you breathe through your nose. So that's why I do it. There's probably other reasons why other people do it that way. And then so mine was the count of 4 in, and then I hold it for a count of 4, and then I pierce my lips, or if I'm in some kind of public place that I don't want my face to look too goofy, I can do it like so somebody just probably thinks I have a resting bitch face or something when I'm doing it, and I'm actually doing this breathing exercise. So the idea is you will, on the exhale, that is your surrender. This is so cool. This is what I just learned. Maybe I'll talk about it fully in this video or another video. I don't know. But when you exhale, you are in a state of surrender. So remember that. That's the golden gift right there. I'll charge you later for that advice. I mean, it's taken 56 years and a few months to figure that out. Exhalation equals surrender. The energy of surrender. Remember, everything has an energy. Letters, numbers, words, everything. The can of soup, the fireplace, the rock, the hose, the paint on the roadway, everything has an energy. So, oh God, did I digress on that one? Let's see if I can get back to where I was. Surrender. So on the exhale, that is an energy of surrender, and you want that to be as long as you can. Don't make it uncomfortable for yourself. I don't want you to pass out. If you may feel a little dizzy-headedness, especially in the beginning when you start breathing like this. But like if you need to dial it back a little bit, the idea is not to get dizzy-headed. This is not what we're going after. So you want to inhale the count of 4, hold the count of 4, exhale probably the count of 6 or something like that is my guess, and then hold for 2. So it's 4, 4, 6, 2. Something like that. You get the idea of the ratio, right? It's not a science, and it all depends on your lung capacity, because somebody can probably inhale for the count of 7 or 10. Who knows? I don't know. Giant people with big lung capacity. Mine is not giant. Just so you in case you want to know, my lungs are not giants' lungs. So that's I think I got way too technical on that. Really, how it was before 3 hours ago, it was inhale for 4, it was hold for 2, exhale for 6, and hold for 2. That was working out for me, but then somebody suggested a little bit earlier ago, like 3 hours ago, that you should hold longer with the breath in your chest. But let's go back to my tried and true. What got me to where I am today is inhale 4, hold for 2, exhale 6, hold for 2, and then repeat the cycle. You can do this anywhere. You can do this driving, as long as you don't get dizzy-headed. If you get dizzy-headed, maybe build up to it before you try to do it driving. You could do it in a conference room, in a big room of people that you're having a meeting with. You could do it in a cafe. You could do it in your car, sitting parked. You could be sitting, doing it, waiting for the elevator to show up. There's no limit. You could do it laying in bed, sitting at your couch, at home. The only precaution is some people, because they're changing the way they breathe, they can get a little dizzy-headed, and just back that off. Give more space. and build up a tolerance, right? If you get dizzy headed, that will eventually go away, I think. That's just a think. So this breathing technique is putting you in a state of surrender often. The more you do this breathing throughout your day, the more position of surrender you're at. So every time you're in a state of surrender, get this, you are connected to Source. You're at a frequency and an openness to connect to Source. So if you make the intent that whoever your source is, whatever word you have for that, Buddha, God, Jesus, Source, perhaps Hindu gods, I don't know. Honestly, I'm sorry, I don't know a lot of all of the worldly religions, but whoever your God is, your maker, your creator, you can get connected to that energy, to that being. In some cases, to those beings, but it's just one being, quite honestly. So we'll go with that. But we don't need to argue about it if you have a couple gods out there. It's all the same, and they love it. They love that you have multiple gods. They really do. It is flattery to them. See? There we go. So you have the ability to connect into Source once you start getting this frequency of surrender down. The more you connect, the more you connect into that state of surrendering, the more you connect to God, to your source. It's really cool. It's really cool. I do feel like I've been connecting with Source for a long time, but now I'm like, oh, I know what that is. That's, oh my God, I've been talking to Source forever. That is kind of what I'm getting at. It's so weird. And weird and cool at the same time. God, had I known I'd been talking to God this entire time and God had been talking back to me, little old me, can you imagine maybe what I would have been able to achieve all these years? I've been doing it since a young child, as far as I know, forever. So maybe I needed to go through all the trials and tribulations, which are really just challenges in this game that we call life. All these challenges that I had to get through and master. I have an imagery of Mortal Kombat. That I'm a superhero. I don't know which one I am. I'm some badass female or something on there that has a cool body. Anyhow, I did Mortal Kombat and mastered my inner demons and was able to connect through this just these series of one enlightenment phase after another, and it's been so freaking cool. I know I just spaced out and skipped over a bunch of stuff. That's why my mind is working. Maybe it's because I had a little tiny can of Coke Zero. Maybe that caffeine. Artificial sweetener too. It was a little baby can, so I don't feel so bad. So this whole breathing thing, game changer, another game changer. I honestly fought the breathing thing up until maybe the last 12 months ago. The breathing thing, I mean, it just slapped me in the face one day. Dude, are you fucking crazy? I've been telling you to breathe this whole time. That's almost the feeling that I got when it finally dawned on me. Oh, you want me to breathe? You want me to pay attention to my breath? But that doesn't make sense to me. So, but that moment that happened maybe 12 months ago, I don't even think it was 12 months ago. That moment that it happened, it was like, Beavis. Yeah, they said to breathe and pay attention. Like it was a real stinking Beavis and Butthead moment. And but there was nobody laughing. Now I can laugh. Now I can be the laugh of Beavis and Butthead. Thinking back, like, what a goofball. How many decades? No, how many years? 15 years at least. 15 years at least. Do they have to tell you before you get something so simple? You know what it was? It is so simple. My mind, my ego, thank you, ego. My ego would not allow me to accept such a simple solution to such what I believed was a very complicated thing to achieve. And so here we are. We're talking about achieving enlightenment. I've told you about my decades of time that it took me to get where I'm at. You don't need that. And that's honestly, I think, what I'm here for. Must be. Let me breathe for a minute. Oh, breathing through. When you exhale, breathe through, kind of purse lips. But there's a way you can, like that, have that face and close put your tongue on the back of your front upper teeth and towards the top of the roof of your mouth and blow out it. And you're constricting the airflow so it slows down the air. And this allows you, so if your count of inhalation was 4, right? And then you held it for 2. Then your exhalation, I tried to go long without feeling uncomfortable. So for me, that might be 6 to 8. The longer I do it, the longer I can breathe out. So I want to purse my lips together to restrict the airflow out. And, sorry, I feel like I spit on myself. You want to restrict the airflow out so that you can breathe out longer than you would normally do, right? Remember, that whole time that you're breathing out is a state of surrender. That's what you want. So, also, throughout your day, actually, you can wake up in the morning, maybe work at night. So you go to sleep when you wake up to start your day, whatever that shift is for you. You can say, whether you believe it or not, I promise you, just say it, just for shits and giggles. Speak to your God, even if you're an atheist. Say God, just use the simplest terms, God, or maybe source. Maybe you like that. It kind of sounds more science-y, right? Than God. Say God, source, please help guide my day. I am open to hearing your messages and your nudges and your suggestions. Thank you. Then you're done. That, right? And then you can start there. you're still probably laying down, you can start with a breathing exercise. Do it for maybe 10 minutes before you get out of bed, and do that breathing exercise that I said. And now, throughout the day, as often as you can remember, regardless of whether you're at, try to breathe like that for as long as you can. I'm sure you'll forget about it. Your mind wanders and you'll forget about it, but then remember, oh shit, I wanted to breathe like this as long as possible, as long as it feels good, right? Remember, if you get dizzy headed, stop it and kind of back off the frequency and the rates too. You'll have to, sorry about that, you'll have to play with the rate of inhalation, holding, and exhalation. You just want the exhalation always to be longer than the inhalation and then the holding periods, because that exhalation is where the state of surrender exists. And after a while, you don't even need to count. As long as you're inhaling as fully as you can, holding comfortably, and then releasing as slowly as you can, and then holding, and then repeating the cycle. As long as you get a sense of that feeling, you're good. You don't need to count. God, I feel like I'm rambling. You can see where I forgot where I was at. I know I went back to breathing. I'm sure I'm going to pop forward any minute now. I think I was connecting with Source and being able to talk with Source. Oh, so I gave you the instructions of the breathing, how you start out. Even if you're an atheist, just go along with it. Just play with me for a couple days. Just play with me for these and see if you noticed anything. I'm not even gonna tell you what you might notice and what might happen. Just check it out. See what comes to you. And then you're gonna breathe like that, like I said, as often as possible. And then, actually, I'm sorry, the last piece of instruction is you're gonna listen. You're gonna feel as much as possible. Like, you're like, what does feel mean? Okay, like the simplest form of feeling is you sitting down or laying down or whatever, standing up, whatever. You're in a position, and I want you to, if you have to, safely close your eyes. So you want to be in a safe space. And then I just want you to start feeling things about you. Feel your feet. Feel the firmness on the ground if you're standing. Feel your shins and your calves. Feel your knees. Sorry if your knees are achy. Feel your buttocks if you're sitting down or laying down, and feel your back touch a mattress if you're laying down, and feel your scalp, right? And that is feeling. So you're going to listen, you're going to feel, listen, feel, and look, because you could receive messages in print someplace. So what you're looking for is messages that give you answers to things that you've been questioning. Why does this blah 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 happen this way? Or what does this mean over here? I keep seeing this situation. What does that mean? Why do I keep seeing that situation? And then you will get, well, I think that's it for today. I wanted to thank you for joining me, and hope you have an amazing moment. Take care.